Hey, welcome to KocoSports. First time we're doing this, House of Hardcore 8 review. I am the huge one, Dave Coco from KocoSports.com or KocoSports.net. It's where the world comes to get gas, your home for combat sports, and above all, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. And we are adding a ton of new content today. Today has to be a record for content, and we're hoping that we can cover more and more independent feds. And this is our first shot. I have my tag team partner, American Alucard, from everything on social media, American Alucard. And we always ask win, loss, or tie. And to me, this is a very, very tough one. So I'm going to let you go first. What did you think of this show? Win, loss, or tie?
I'm going
this is
to
a
have
tough one to call, ain't it?
Yeah, some of the wrestling was good, but some of it was just like god fucking awful. It's just like, what are they charging me for?
Yeah.
Okay, it was $20 for HD.
No. Let's break down the price.
Okay.
Do you think? No. And I'm not knocking House of Hardcore, but you have to. It is entertainment, and people are hard times. I think a couple years ago, you asked us to pay $20 for a pay-per-view. We don't even shrug at it. We're like, oh, okay, yeah, no problem. Oh, it's an indie? That's awesome that it's so low. But now with WWE Network and New Japan World going $9.99, yen or dollars, depending on what country you live in, it makes it a harder buy to check out alternatives. Am I wrong for saying that? Am I the fucking jerk-off in the room for saying that?
I would, but I have the internet, so if it was a pay-per-view or whatever, I just like buy some merchandise to make myself feel a little bit better. So it's hard for me to judge on that situation because they try to fight internet piracy, but
yeah, and that's the thing. Like, they have access to everything, and I think WWE Network and New Japan just following suit, I think it's gonna hurt small promotions like this because you're like, oh, go out and try something new. And you're like, well, I get all this content for $9.99 with these two major companies. $20, you know what I mean? I just think WWE Network, one of the biggest successful things about the network and New Japan is that it's affordable. So, when you're like, try another alternative, one event for $21 or $19.99, which who doesn't pay the extra $2 for high def? And who, when you were paying the extra $2, how many people went, this might be a scam? Like, I don't know if I'm the only one. I didn't, but so I just think WWE Network is hurting independents like crazy. But let's scoot past the price. Let's scoot past the price. Win, loss, or tie. This is my opinion on it. This is not winning many fans over. If you're like, I'm going to watch House of Hardcore, it's not. And on top of that, the intermission, it's a totally different show. The before intermission, I would say loss with maybe a match here and there. After intermission, I'm like, oh, okay, this is a good pay-per-view. There is a night and day difference at intermission. There just is. You like, before intermission, you're just like, what the fuck is going on? And after intermission, you're like, oh, okay. So it's very interesting. If you did watch it, please put win, loss, or tie. And, we are passionate fans. We want to try other alternatives out. And I love ECW, and I just grew up on it. I didn't really grow up on it. It kept me going. I'm old. I was about to give up on wrestling because and ECW revived me. So I really do love ECW. But with that said, I think even the people of Philadelphia might be getting tired of it. You know what I mean? And they're fucking diehards. But one thing they have to work on is the production value. I thought was pretty damn good. It felt like if ECW was around today. It had an ECW/today feeling. The audio was absolute garbage. Just fucking garbage. Garbage.
Did a good commentary job, though. I'll give him his props.
Now, the commentary team were definitely rattled. Like, the first half, they were rattled because they went on the air. One dude was super loud, one dude you couldn't hear, and the other guy was, like, right in the middle. So, like, you know, I'm watching this in the middle of the night Tokyo time, and it's like, hey! Yeah, that was a good move. That's what I'm talking about! You know, and I was just like, come on. And you could tell they were definitely rattled by it. They should have got Matt Stryker to fucking be part of the commentary team. I thought Helms did a pretty good job, and I think after they panicked from the audio problems, they did a great job. But the video side of the house did a hell of a lot better than the audio side of the house. And yeah, it's interesting. I want to hear your comments on it down in the comments, win, loss, or tie, what you thought of it. And all right, let's break it down. Let's break it down. You have two former WWE guys, PJ Black, and he defeats Brian Myers via pinfall. PJ Black is Gabrielle, and Brian Myers was, who's Brian Myers again? He was in that tag team, short-lived.
With Zach and Zach. Oh, I forgot his name.
I don't know. I love the fact that there was a fucking Hack Myers reference. But yeah, he was Zack Ryder's friend, tag team, also with Edge, and he was with Edge when, you know, Edge ran. Shit, I can't believe I don't know his WWE name. But this was PJ Black. You're like, oh, okay, he's got it. He can wrestle anywhere. Brian Myers, I'm like, besides his T-shirt, I saw nothing impressive. Who is it?
It was Kurt. He was Kurt Hawkins.
Kurt Hawkins, yeah, and people speak highly, especially James Legend. And thanks, James Legend, he's putting up free legal content on the blog. So if you like independence, it's a lot smaller than House of Hardcore, but you know we have legal indie content on the channel now, thanks to James Legend. But James Legend always says that Brian Myers is great, and in WWE we didn't get to see how he was great. And tonight I thought, oh, this is your time to shine. You know, PJ Black kind of held his own. He had a great finisher, but to be honest, the opening match was a Superstars match that fucking was in front of a smaller crowd. I don't know. I wouldn't have went with this match first. I would have definitely picked something else. What were your thoughts on the opening match?
Brian Myers, he's the new Brooklyn. I forgot the guy's name. Brooklyn
Brawler.
He's the new Brooklyn Brawler, yes.
Gotcha.
Think about it. He's been jobbing in WWE, and he's been jobbing all around the world. This man is a professional jobber.
But he does have a sweet-looking T-shirt. That fucking Max design. Yeah, you have to give him props for that. But yeah, it was a Superstars match, and you know I think PJ Black's got a big career ahead of him, no matter what name he uses. Yeah. But Brian Myers, man, I don't know, man.
You can get the money while you can, bro, before they catch on.
Yeah, exactly. The next I thought was a great match because, you know, they went with ECW styles. And for those that are younger that don't know, ECW used to only give like 3 or 4 matches out, and then everything else was a surprise. The announce team kind of did a good job selling this, but we had Matt Stryker come out. Holy shit, Matt Stryker in the first hour was the best goddamn athlete. Didn't see that coming. Not only is he a god on the mic and play-by-play, and please, Matt Stryker, next House of Hardcore, double fucking dip. Pay him double. Have him wrestle a match and have him call commentary. I think Matt Stryker and Hurricane Helms would have been a great job. I think Amazing Red coming back was cool. They had a little bit of a history, how they've worked together before. And Matt Stryker he impressed me. In the first half, I think he was our MVP. I was just like, holy shit, Stryker's in shape. You know, because when you're doing commentary and sitting there in a suit, you don't fucking know, but the guy can still go. And I thought I would never say this, because for those that know, Amazing Red used to be one hell of a cruiserweight X Division wrestler. I think Matt Stryker carried that match. I think Matt Stryker was the star of that match, even though Amazing Red got the win. But Amazing Red is coming back from a lot of injuries and all that. So it was great to see Amazing Red. Hopefully, in a couple more indie shows or that, you will see the Amazing Red of old. But overall, I would have been happier. I think it would have set the mood a lot better if this was the opening match. I know it's a little nitpicking here, but when you see PJ Black defeat Brian Myers with, a superstar type match, and then Amazing Red's return and Matt Striker just impressing me, I thought that it would have been different. Next, do you have anything to add to Amazing Red Matt Striker match?
Basically the same thing, Matt Striker, when I saw him with his ring gear, I was like, oh man, he's gonna be out of shape, and then he took it off. He was like, whoa, where's this Matt Striker been? So
yeah, I mean, man, Matt Striker, just pay that guy tons of money. Listen, dear everyone that's not, fuck it, no, we'll even add in WWE. Dear everyone, let's just cancel pro wrestling commentary forever and have Matt Striker and Steve Corino call every match ever again. Like, if there's a pro wrestling match and there's going to be commentary on it, Matt Striker and Steve Corino's there, and we just throw all the money at them. Like, no, let's make them like saints, like popes. We don't even pay them. We just pay everything for them. So, like, it's like, oh, we don't pay you, but you got to show up and do this commentary, and we get, like, free food, free houses, free education for their family, free insurance. Like, they don't even have to worry about money. There's just some guy, Matt Striker's like, I want that, and there's some guy that gets it for him. That's it. I mean, I love Matt Striker and Steve Corino. And I got off topic, but I thought this was, out of the first three matches, the best match. Then you had, I think, maybe the worst match of the night, and I know that it's students, and I know that, hey, people need to start somewhere. I don't think this was a bad match at your local indie. But an pay-per-view, I think it's horrible. Like, there's different levels. You know what I mean? I think this is a mid-card, $200, 200 people show up event. You know what I mean? Like, I could see this main eventing in a small indie with 100 fans. But you're charging $21.99, and it's an pay-per-view? No, they're just not ready. It was like sending out a goddamn high school quarterback to play the Seattle Seahawks defense. It was bad. You know what I mean? Or even legendary. It was like sending out a high school quarterback to face the Steel Curtain in their prime. It just no. And I don't want to knock it. I don't want to, because I understand what level they're at. As a fan, as a former promoter, I understand. And I almost feel guilty because it's the indies. This is what's hard about reviewing indies. Because if you don't review it, you're a WWE fanboy. But then you review it and hold it to a certain standards. They're like, why do you pick on the indies? And it's like, no. You got to decide. Do you want to be reviewed? Do you want, you know what I'm saying? I thought this would have been great for a small independent. But for a $21.99 pay-per-view, this was garbage. You know what I'm saying? Like if I paid $5 at a local indie with 10 of my friends, fuck, yeah, they're that worthy. But for $21.99, and pretty much an international company, a big deal. I mean, House of Hardcore, in my opinion, on the indies, if you had a top 25, they'd be a top 25 indie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And maybe even top 10 if you rank into indies. This is not a top 10 indie company match. I'm sorry. And I know they're students, and I know that. Go ahead.
Was that six-way?
No. Well, that was pretty bad, too. No, it was the Alex Reynolds defeated JT Dunn and the manager and the roll-up finish. It was just purely awkward.
Well, it was a cold worker, but, yeah. I say this. JT Dunn, he's Chris Hero light. When you don't feel like getting full off Chris Hero, you get some JT Dunn. Not saying he's a bad wrestler. It's just you feel like you want more. He's got the Ring of Honor body, but his moves are watered down for WWE already.
Yeah, and not that, but like I said, it wasn't a bad match depending on the level you're at. But for an pay-per-view, a top 10 indie, this was a horrible fucking match. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And the ending was just awkward. Now, to me, this is when it picked up. I was excited for Matt Striker. and I was very excited for this match. Rhino versus Eddie Kingston. I love Eddie Kingston. I love Rhino. I love the fact that it was a little bit of a surprise. I loved everything about this, and it got me into the pay-per-view. And I was like, oh shit, it's going down. And it was just two brute men going at it. Like, just fucking, you know, like, I could see these two motherfuckers being in a never title hunt. You know what I'm saying? Like, that style of wrestling, just strong style. And I really enjoyed it. It was short as shit out of nowhere. Rhino hits a so-so spear. You know, it was just awkward. And then the match was over. And I was just like, no! No! I just had to sit through Alex Reynolds and JT Dunn. Don't do this to me! I enjoyed this match, but it ends out of nowhere, and you're just like, no! Don't do this to me! I don't know if that was the feeling they were going for, but I would love to see a rematch between these two men, and I would love to see it given more time. Like, it was sandwiched in between two horrible matches.
Yeah.
And if you just got rid of those two matches, like here, it's easy to play backseat booker. You know, there's going to be someone like, hey, fuck you don't fucking know anything. But, like, you know, we know what we like. And, like, playing backseat booker here, if you had the Amazing Red match first, Matt Striker, then the BJ Black, then Rhino, ditch those two matches, I think this is a win. I think that's how bad those two matches were. And I'm like, bro, I know there's students, I know there's wink, wink, nudge, nudge, but the do you have anything to say about the Rhino Eddie Kingston match? Because it got me pumped the fuck up as a wrestling fan, and then, phew, it's over.
It was my match of the night.
Really?
Yeah. It was what I wanted to see. Some hardcore, hard-hitting action. And I don't think people really give Eddie Kingston the due he deserves. I mean, the guy's an excellent heel, has a cool finisher, even though it's kind of, what do you call it, like old school and brutal. That Bad Fist to the Future, that's pretty cool. Rhino.
You know what I like about Eddie Kingston? He works a lot of independents, and he works a lot of places. And no matter how bad the show is, or how good the show is, it doesn't matter. Like, when Eddie Kingston comes out, he's the type of guy that you just automatically pay attention to. He has that star quality about him. You're just like, you know, you'll be watching, because there's some really bad indies, you know what I'm saying? And you'll be watching some really bad indie wrestling, and then Eddie Kingston will come out, and you'll notice that you're putting down the Facebook, you're putting down the Twitter, you're like, it's a must-watch type guy. I love the character, and I have no idea why he didn't get farther. Maybe it's his looks, I don't know. But I do know when Eddie Kingston is on an event, if I'm there live or if I'm watching it on DVD or whatever, if it's a bad indie show, and I don't think this is a bad indie show. It's just it had its moments. But if you're watching a bad indie show and Eddie Kingston comes out, it's like you just pay attention. He just has that draw to him. And someone in the chat is asking me, who can you compare Eddie Kingston to WWE? I would say maybe a Dean Ambrose. Maybe if you had to compare him to a WWE type guy, but he's a little bit bigger and stiffer. But if I had to compare Eddie Kingston to a WWE guy, I guess Dean Ambrose. Am I off by that? It's a bit of a stretch, but I guess there's some similarity.
They really don't have a guy that's like Eddie Kingston though. Like a bruiser a bruiser type of guy like that. Dean Ambrose really is that a bruiser.
Let's put it this way: I give House of Hardcore 8. This is the first time we're reviewing House of Hardcore. I give it a tie, and I'm not sure if I would buy House of Hardcore 9. But if they advertise this match, you have my $21.99. You know what I'm saying? Like if there's like, hey, there's gonna be a rematch between Rhino and Eddie Kingston. I'm okay. Here's my money. You know what I'm saying? I'm on board. Now this 6-man tag was garbage, but it served a point. You know what I'm saying? It was fucking garbage. Let's be completely honest. Alex Reynolds, the only thing that this match got going for it, it's not the Alex Reynolds JT Dunn match. That's the only thing it's got going for it. It was Bill Carr, Dan Barry, and Tony Nese. They defeat Ben Ortiz, Hale Collins, and Vic Dalishus. I did not know much about that, and I'm pretty sure I fucking mispronounced Dalish's name. I didn't know much about any of these wrestlers, and after the match, I still don't know much about these wrestlers. This was more of, these are some of Mikey Whipwreck's students, and they had a great moment for Mikey Whipwreck. And, man, Mikey Whipwreck looks a lot different these days. But if you grew up an ECW fan, Mikey Whipwreck was just amazing. And even though I didn't enjoy the match, I give it a pass because we got to see, the video footage of Mikey Whipwreck. You got to see an emotional Mikey Whipwreck in front of the Philadelphia crowd. Now, some fucking player-hated motherfuckers are like, oh, it's fake and all that shit, like his emotions and shit. But even if it is, let the motherfucker have his moment. You know what I mean? I really did enjoy this. The match, no. But the respect for Mikey Whipwreck was good. And Mikey Whipwreck was the referee, and he had a couple spots. And Mikey Whipwreck is not the man he used to be, and he still stole the show. You know what I mean? I asked Mikey Whipwreck in a barbershop, Mikey Whipwreck, how old are you? And he said 940 fucking 2. And I was like, holy shit, Mikey Whipwreck, you're fucking old. And he still stole the show. And I don't know how long these guys have been in the business. I don't know that much about them. But I do know, if it wasn't for the Mikey Whipwreck moment and the big Mikey Whipwreck send-off, basically, or I don't know if it's a send-off, but just a moment of respect, you know what I'm saying, for Mikey Whipwreck, man, would we be shitting on this match. I mean, this match was bad, but can you imagine no Whipwreck, how much worse it would have been?
Well, there were some bright spots in here. I mean, you got Bill Carr doing that hurricanrana. That's pretty athletic for a big guy. And Bill Carr, I read some of his stuff. He was a former NXT guy who got released. And I want to say this. You know how you feel about ACH and Roger Strong falling in love?
Yeah.
I kind of did the same thing with Team Tremendous, just off the gimmick alone, because it's so unique.
Yeah, because they have like a cop gimmick and all that stuff. All right. Gotcha.
Oh, yeah,
I just wasn't buying it. I'm glad you were. I'm glad someone enjoyed it.
and also, they came out with Hale Collins. She was pretty hot, so I guess that's something.
Yeah. Next, you had
No selling. She is completely no selling.
I just don't want to throw it under the bus. I mean, yeah, she was an attractive woman, but that's the problem with indies. They're like, oh man, you feel guilty because you're like, hey, this guy's probably fucking $90,000 in the fucking hole busting his goddamn ass, and I'm like, yeah, fuck him in his match, and you're like, man, I feel bad that I say fuck him in his match. Next is the last match to go. It's weird because it's very WWE hardcore style. It was Matt Hardy versus Carlito versus Lance Hoyt. The way they were putting over Carlito, I thought the motherfucker was the reincarnation of Lex Luger. They're like, look at those goddamn abs. Like, all right, Carlito fucking renewed his gym membership. We get it. It just, I'm a New Japan fan, and they had a lot of New Japan talent here. And Lance Hoyt, how the fuck did he not make it farther in America? It's just like Matt Hardy, Carlito, WWE style, got it. And then you got Lance Hoyt, and you're like, this motherfucker's way better than these assholes. Matt Hardy does get the win. Carlito's body looks amazing. And I would put it up there with a very good WWE hardcore match. Like you're not fucking wowed by it, but there's also nothing embarrassed by it. But I do believe Lance Hoyt, former TNA, now New Japan guy, definitely was the best wrestler in that ring.
Did you notice that the ring was kind of like lacking? Well, the ropes were like really unstable, and they really couldn't get a lot of moves off. Yeah.
That's bad because look, we've had that problem. I've ran thousands of indie shows, and when your ropes suck, it's just you're putting your wrestlers in danger. Not only botches, which will happen often, but you're putting their body in danger because it's most of these indie wrestlers are always wrestling in a new ring every time, and not only that, but it's a top, like I said, it's a top 10 indie. Fix your fucking ropes. And I know, being an indie guy, you fucking get new ring after new ring after new ring, you travel, but you got to tighten up those ropes, you know? Someone could get hurt really bad. I never knew we'd become responsible, us podcasters, but yeah, tighten up those fucking ropes, guys. Overall, I enjoyed the match, but it didn't impress me, but at the same time, it didn't not impress me, so it was like the ultimate tie match. But the announcing was a bit rough. It's like, Carlito is good looking! Alright, we fucking get it.
And then Matt Hardy winning out of nowhere. That was just like, oh, yeah. Why? I guess he's a heel in the company or whatever.
And then they go into like a little bit of a halftime show where it's Hurricane Helms and the Blue Meanie, and yeah, you could just tell the audio was rattled. You know, the audio fucked up in the beginning, then the commentators were rattled, and then they had to go to two-man teams, and then they had to go to a halftime show interviewing Blue Meanie. It's just, you know, House of Hardcore, come on. Not everyone is going to be JR and Stryker, where if you just fucking ignore them like New Japan did, they'll carry the show. You have to fucking help these motherfuckers out. You know what I mean? So hopefully they improve on that. Now, the first half, I give a loss to. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it had the Rhino match, and but overall, pretty much lost. But then at intermission, I'm just like, what the fuck? American a la carte got me fucking watching. But the second half is way better than the first half. Can we all agree on that? Come on, dude.
Okay, wrestling was better, but there's some parts in here I'm going to have. I already did a rant on it, sort of, but I will talk about that when we cross that bridge.
All right. The intermission was a bit odd, and not only that, but you could have just be more prepared. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just, maybe Paul Heyman was so much more important than ECW than a lot of the ECW wrestlers who hate him think. Because there's no way Paul Heyman would have had that shit go down like that. You know what I mean? He would have had an interview, he'd got promos, he would have, you know, and not only that, but like, when they come back, they have some morning DJ get booed out of the building, and then they have a WWE ring announcer, Justin Roberts, and he gets a pop in the beginning, but then they're like, you're still fucking talking? Like, Philadelphia was like, yeah, Justin Roberts, yeah! What? You're cutting a fucking promo? You're a ring announcer, for fucking Christ's sake. The promo was really good, but, yeah, you're a ring announcer. You know what I mean? WWE product sucks. We fucking know that. That's why we're paying $21.99 for alternatives. You know what I mean? But it wasn't a bad little promo. It's just Philadelphia was having nothing to do with it. And not that, but if you did that during intermission, I think people would have been more accepting of it. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you do intermission, and then you come back, and you're like, here's a local DJ, and here's Justin Roberts telling you why WWE sucks. Like, that should have been your intermission. That, like, people could have got their popcorn, kind of got their DVDs, could have been like, hey, this is where fucking New Jack threw that guy off. Ha 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 ha, ECW history. You know, you could have fucking did anything, but you go to a break, you do nothing, and you come back to a local DJ and Justin Roberts cutting a promo about how WWE sucks? No, that's your intermission. That's your intermission. That's not part of the show. But anyway, so it comes to a street fight. I thought Eric Young cut a pretty good promo.
You skipped over the tag team match.
Oh, whoa, yeah. Yeah, sorry, thank you for pointing that out. you know, this tag team. What are they fucking anything in Philadelphia? No, my error. I apologize. Yeah, then you had Christopher Daniels and Kaz go against the Dudley Boyz. And I'm a huge Dudley Boyz fan. Maybe that's why I'm the only asshole who liked TNA's Japan pay-per-view. But I'm a fan of the Dudleys. They're probably one of my favorite tag teams of all time. But, dude, Philadelphia, I don't know if it was because the first half was so shit. Did that welcome just feel like half-hearted? Like, yeah, we're happy for the Dudleys, but did you see that shit? Did you see that shit? We just had fucking Justin Roberts in the ring. We just fucking had students fucking take up too much time on the fucking first... I don't think it was that fucking good of a warm reception. I thought the match was pretty decent, but a lot of comedy spots and a lot of run-ins. The one thing I found completely, I thought was good. I don't know. It's one of those things I could see people hating on it. Daniels and Kaz, because I'm a huge Daniels fan, and, you know, Kaz is like if Daniels is Batman, Kaz is Robin. It's like, all right, I don't hate Kaz, but he's just there. I'm a huge Christopher Daniels fan. I love Kaz, but my love for Christopher Daniels is so much higher than Kaz. There's definitely a Batman and Robin in this tag team, in my eyes. So what you call it? The Addiction, is that what they're calling themselves?
Yeah, the Addiction.
Yeah, they just fucking dominate and start grabbing the mic and talking shit. And me being a Christopher Daniels fan, I was like, this is fucking awesome, you know? But then the match continues, and then a woman runs in. I'm not really sure who she is. I apologize. I don't remember her name.
Rosita from TNA, but now she's going on her real name. Or is it Thea Trinidad.
Gotcha. So she grabs their balls and shit, and the Dudleys are like, selling the thing. And then Bubba Ray's girlfriend's the one who really sucked in Japan. Who was that fucking girl?
Velvet Sky.
Velvet Sky, that's it. -10 for me. Velvet Sky comes out to maybe the fucking pop of the night. Now, that just fucking shocked me. Velvet Sky, when she wrestled in Japan, you could hear the audience just talking shit. I had a woman in New Japan recruiter. So they were like, you know, the people that sat in front of me, they were like recruiting for other companies. And the woman's just like, oh, so in America all you need is tits? And like you could just hear even the women in the crowd be like, dude, this is fucking embarrassing. So from that seeing her live in Japan to seeing her in Philadelphia getting fucking huge pops, congratulations on her. But the comedy spot of the night is they put the girl in and they get, you know, they spread her legs open and Devon jumps to the top rope and does the what's up and does a headbutt, but he just stays there. And it's fucking awesome because the fans start chanting, and I might be paraphrasing their chant, "Eat that pussy." And I was just like, dude, fucking amazing. Just amazing. I thought it was, I don't know, I think it might be, in my opinion, comedy spot of the year so far. I can't think of a better comedy spot this year than that. And the Dudleys do finally get the win, and Velvet Sky cuts a promo, and Philadelphia just loves that shit. So, you know, from seeing Velvet Sky get basically trashed in Japan, and being trashed in Tokyo is a lot nicer than being trashed in Philadelphia. Because being trashed in Tokyo is people just whispering how bad the match is, and then no reaction. You know what I mean? In Philadelphia, they fucking... Yeah, well, you know how Philadelphia crowds are. But I'm happy for her that she got a reaction and cut that promo. Go ahead.
Well, allow me 5 minutes on the clock for this.
All right. Hot tag to you. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, the match was decent, but the run-in with Thea Trinidad, we all know that was just to get Velvet Sky out there. And then you fucking morons in Philadelphia, you're cheering for Velvet Sky. Why? You're always talking about you like good wrestling. That's all you care about. But you're cheering for Velvet Can't Wrestle Sky. She had 8 years in TNA, wrestled horribly all 8 years, and now because she got fired from TNA, because she said, I got fired, you're chanting fuck TNA. And then Bully Ray, he goes into the whole thing, I can't hear you. Okay, Bully Ray, you're chanting fuck TNA, but then you said in another interview or promo, you wouldn't be opposed to going back to TNA or whatever. And granted, you're sucking off WE Cop on Twitter, and WE, they never gave you what TNA gave you. They gave you a main event spot, a title run with that main belt. But you're saying, fuck, but I get it. You're playing to the morons in Philadelphia who are just, I want to say biased against TNA, but everybody knows how to play the Philadelphia fans. Their chant fuck anything just because it's popular or brash. Is that really what you're getting upset about? Fucking Velvet Sky that is now a great loss to any wrestling company besides her looking very beautiful.
She does look amazing. I mean, let's give her props. But I actually, you know what? I understand and agree with everything. But this Philadelphia crowd really kind of let me down. You know what I mean? Like the kids, the new generation of Philadelphia seemed to be wilder. Because, I mean, there was one thing where a kid was just flipping it off, and he's like, that's hardcore. And then another kid wanted to threaten to fight. Who did he want to threaten to fight?
Here, you know?
Austin Aries. Yeah, no, there was also... Yeah. So, it was just... I don't know. It just didn't feel like a Philadelphia crowd. Maybe we just got too old, you know, because I used to go to the ECW arena when I was a kid. And maybe we just got too old. You know what I mean? Like, the fucking crazies that fucking went to Philadelphia. We're just like, whatever. But you know what? I understand everything you say, but seeing that awkwardness at the hall in Tokyo and then seeing her get cheered, I was like, good for her. You know what I mean?
It's good for her to get a cheer, but they're cheering that. They're cheering that she can't do more of that in TNA.
Yeah. I don't know. I see your point, but at the same time, I feel happy for her. And congratulations, Bully Ray. You know what I mean? Looking like that and getting that, holy shit, man. Give yourself a Barry Horowitz, sir. I'm sorry. But yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed the match. I really did.
I did too, except for the little stupid things they said that whatever, so.
Now, Eric Young comes out for a street fight versus Tommy Dreamer. They tried to pump this up on
social media.
Yeah, they tried to pump this up on social media, and Eric Young cut a really good promo and a really good heel promo. The only problem is, it's like, it's not the fucking 90s anymore. You know what I mean? Like, that's a great heel promo in the 90s. You know? And it's just like, oh, ECW, the Philadelphia Arena is fucking bingo. Like, alright, did Eric Young just get the fucking script for Jerry King Lawler? Like here's Jerry King Lawler's promo. What's that?
It was a good promo, and like it felt like the crowd responded.
It was a good promo, but I just think the content is outdated. Like, the delivery was great, everything was great about it. It's just, you know, like, all right.
But he was feeding off of the fans just chanting, you know, fuck TNA. They know he's a TNA guy, so he's playing off of that. He's playing off what they just said. So in that turn, if he would just came out and he didn't have any affiliation to any company, then yeah, but they knew what they were doing. Before he came out, Tommy Dreamer probably told him, they just chanted fuck TNA. Can you cut a promo about this, this place sucks or whatever?
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is, like, he had a home run performance, but the content was like a sacrifice bunt. You know what I mean? I think, like, his delivery and everything was a home run, but just the content was like, all right, we're moving the runner to second. You know what I mean? The match was very short, and at Tommy Dreamer's age, that might be a good thing. Eric Young does get the win, and one thing that I fucking respect about this is Tommy Dreamer is pretty much running the whole thing, and he just put over a TNA guy in his style of match and didn't take the main event spot. Dear indie wrestlers that pretend to be promoters all over the world, learn from Tommy Dreamer. Just learn.
Came out too.
Yeah, and then after the match is when the shit went down and Twitter exploded and people were happy. They had EC3 appear and attack Dreamer. So there you go. EC3 appeared and attacked Dreamer. Congratulations on EC3. I just think he's absolutely amazing, like, being a heel. I just think, I don't know, I know what it is. I think, like, he delivered a home run, but his content was also a home run. He's just so fucking great at being a heel. I have no idea. When he gets healthy, he has to be a top of TNA. But then the lights go out. Sabu? Rob would have marked out. No, bigger fucking surprise, and I'm sad I didn't watch this live. I'm sure this was a lot better for those in the audience, or a lot better for those that didn't watch the replay. Rey Mysterio appears and makes this save, and they cut a great promo. It's a great moment, and it's great to see Rey Mysterio basically come to one of his homes. You know what I'm saying? This is like his summer home. You know, obviously, he's made his name in Lucha in Mexico, but when it comes to America, ECW is the one that gave him this break. A House of Hardcore is basically what's left of ECW in some small way. He appeared to make the save. People went crazy. People bought into the speeches. People bought into the promo. I think maybe moment of the night, not match of the night, but moment of the night. And the best part about this is we weren't sure, you know, how Rey Mysterio was going to look. We weren't sure how Rey Mysterio was going to move. And granted, it was a very small spot that he did. You know, he did a 619 on both of them. But, you know, he looked healthier than I've ever seen. No, that's not fair. He's looked healthier than I've seen him in years. And it was just a small spot, but he looked healthy. He looked like he could move. And granted, there wasn't much to it, you know, of his actual in-ring work, but there was enough to go, oh, I'm excited to see Rey Mysterio. Is it just me, or did he look healthier than he's looked in a while?
Yeah, but that's, you know, like you said, mainly due to him just hitting 1619. He'll probably be on the next House of Hardcore 9, or isn't he's signed to AAA, so we'll get to see how he can wrestle in a little bit.
And not only, but they got Del Rio, the original Mystico, a.k.a. original Sin Cara, and Rey Mysterio all in the same company right now, and hopefully they make a faction, because that would be very interesting. And not only that, but seeing Rey Mysterio come back, you know, they got you. I mean, they do get you interested about a part 9. You know what I mean? That you definitely are interested in it. Now, to me, I thought this was match of the night, main event, and I have to give the Young Bucks credit, Christopher Daniels and Kaz, as they pulled double duty. They were in Baltimore. They were in Baltimore for the Ring of Honor television tapings. And then they flew up, I don't know exactly the travel schedule, and then showed up for this event. So that's amazing, especially considering not once did it look like they've wrestled more than once that night. You know what I mean?
They look pretty fluid.
The Young Bucks are so fucking over. I am convinced the Young Bucks were never born. I think that IWC, the fake terrorist group, just the internet created the Young Bucks. Like, just one day the internet's like, we need some heroes. And then magically, boop, the Young Bucks appeared. I don't think they were born. I think they were actually downloaded. They're just fucking like they are the internet. They're just the fucking internet.
No, they were made from too many marks, too sweeting each other, and they were just like born off the friction. Too sweet.
They're just the fucking internet. Like, people are like, what is the internet? That's it. It's the fucking Young Bucks. I think people were just fantasy booking, playing the booking games, going to their e-feds, doing their podcast, and they just mentally created the Young Bucks. I don't think there's a Mama Buck. I don't. I think they were downloaded. They were hatched from a fucking egg that the internet made with their heart and love. They are the fucking internet. And oh man, were they fucking over. Throughout the night, people were chanting for the Young Bucks. And to me, I thought it was match of the night. I wouldn't say 5-star match, but I really enjoyed it. And Austin Aries, Bobby Roode were there. They played being a heel great. And I really enjoyed this match. It was, and props to Tommy Dreamer for putting them on last. There's not many people that would have his power, his stroke, that wouldn't have put his match on last. but they put it on last, and, even with the Rey Mysterio moment of the night, I still think it was the right decision to let the Young Bucks go over last. And it just super kicks everywhere. They did their flip off the top rope pile driver. What do they call that?
Indy Taker, the Lord of Markness.
Yes, dude, they're literally from the internet. They just they're not real people. They're not. They're just the internet. But at the very end, after a very fast-paced, good match, all four wrestlers are absolutely amazing. At the very end, Aries and Roode play the heel, and they're about to walk out. The Young Bucks stop them. They say, "Let's shake our hands." They say no, and then they do the too sweet and raise their hands, and then music plays, and they cut off the pay-per-view. And at the end of the day, when you have audio problems, at the end of the day, when you have a couple students that maybe shouldn't be at this level just yet, when you hit it, you get the Dudleys, Eric. Like the second half is so much worth better than the first half. You know what I mean? And it was just, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the second half. I know we're a bit harsh on that first half, but I really enjoyed the second half.
I would have rather seen. Maybe it's because Aries and Roode don't tag together often. It kind of felt awkward. I would have rather seen Aries and Roode in singles matches, and the Young Bucks go up against maybe
Daniels and Kaz.
Oh yeah. Either Daniels and Kaz or
the Duds. Yeah, I could see that, but and this is just me, guessing what they're gonna do. That's probably gonna happen eventually down the line. I don't know where the Dudley Boyz say they're signing with everybody every 5 seconds. So whatever if the Dudleys don't wind up somewhere, some monopoly type company, I could see the Young Bucks and the Dudleys going there. I know the Dudleys, and I apologize to the indie company. I think it's like I apologize. I think it has a 2 in it. But one of the indie companies in America, yeah, the Young Bucks defeated the Dudleys. So I thought that was kind of cool. I gotta try to find that match. So overall, I give it a tie. But like I said, the first half is definitely a loss, and the second half is a win. So, it's weird because you're going to pay your $21.99 or pirate it. Tommy Dreamer's coming after you. We'll bring that up next. You're going to pay your $21.99, and the first half you're just going to be like, what the fuck did I do? You know what I mean? But then you're going to have...
What am I doing?
The second half, I think, is worthy of that price. So if they just fix the first half of House of Hardcore 9, that'd be good. But knowing this is just my theory, no facts whatsoever. Not that anyone has ever done that on a podcast before, but here's my theory. Those students probably pay to get on the card.
You think so?
Yeah, that's a very New York, Northeast, Philadelphia thing. Yeah. They probably have to sell tickets, and they have to pay to get on. I think so. I could be wrong. I mean, people have done that before. It's very common in the Northeast for younger guys and undercard guys to pay or sell a certain amount of tickets to get on the card.
I think like the only students I saw were in the 6-man tag on the big ball guy, the Hale, whatever. I know like Alex Reynolds. I think he's a low-level indie star that's does tours on the country. So I think like if anybody paid, it's those 3 guys.
Yeah. So and here's a thing that's very interesting. I'm just reading a headline here, and he posted a long rant on Facebook. Tommy Dreamer on Fans Illegally Streaming Events said he's hired a company to go after websites, and I don't know, because he's seeing it, and he's given the old 66,000 illegal downloads times 15 equals $990,000. So he's like, look how much we could have got. But this is shady, because Tommy Dreamer, this is the thing. When it comes to copyright, hear me out. If you like the product, support it. But out of 66,000 legal downloads, not all of them we're going to pay. Not all of them we're going to pay. Let's not get fucking ridiculous. And, you know what I mean? And here's the thing. I guarantee, because I don't know about Tommy Dreamer, but I know Dana White. Dana White has been a pirate before. Tommy Dreamer, most likely, the percentage is he's been a pirate. Let's put it this way. In your own pay-per-view, you broke some copyright laws. Let's be completely fucking honest. You broke some copyright laws in your pay-per-view. But yet you're going to go after your fans. You're going to go after that 990,000 fake fucking number. I just think it's bullshit. Yeah, it's bullshit because the copyright thing it's just not fair. It's not fair, and this is what I mean by it's not fair. I sell books under Ghostwriter, and I'm going to start using my real name soon. I've sold books, and people download it all the time. I'm part of comic books, and people download it all the time. And I've even ran an indie company and ran Combat TV, and I understand, hey, that's 66,000 times $15 sounds really exciting. Oh, $1 million. The reality is, you're not gonna fucking stop it. The reality is, you broke copyright laws. And what I hate about copyright laws is this. It's pretty much the rich win. The rich fucking win. And, Tommy, you don't want to go that way. You know what I'm saying? You just don't want to fucking go that way. Do I think you have a point? Do I think you have a point about illegal downloads? Yeah. But let me tell you something. As a fan, I paid. I was going to go, because it's not like I didn't have access. I was going to go illegally download it, and I was like, fuck it, let me just pay. You know what I mean? I like ECW. I understand what it's like to make content and someone steal it. You sue one fan, I'll never pay for your product. I don't even know if I'll watch your product ever again. Ever. Because the thing is, the copyright laws ain't fair. You're going to go after a guy that fucking probably wouldn't have bought your pay-per-view. You broke copyright laws fucking consistently on this fucking pay-per-view. Like, it wasn't even close. I'm just like, oh, okay, I guess we're throwing copyright right out the fucking window. You were part of ECW that broke copyright laws. And then, so you became famous breaking copyright laws. But then, you're going to go after a fan. Now, let me tell you, I would love to go after people that steal my shit. I just can't. You know why? What's the penalty? What's the penalty? So someone steals your shit, $21. And because you have this make-believe number and you pretend everyone that illegally downloaded is going to buy your shit, you are going to go after them for a minimum of $250,000 and possibly prison time? That's what you're going to do, Tommy Dreamer? That's what you're going to fucking do. Now listen, I'm for going after them if it's fair. Like, I think copyright should be this. Oh, you got me. All right, I'll pay double or triple of what the product actually costs. But the scare tactics is bullshit. All right, Tommy, go after your $1 million. I counted at least 10 times you broke copyright, and that was without me even trying. That was without me even trying. If I go back and be a real dick, you fucking got copyright all over this shit. So, yeah, here's my thing. You sue one fucking fan. I'm not paying for your shit. I'm not, because fuck you. Fuck you. Because I guarantee you, Tommy Dreamer, I'll go down, give me your iPod. Just give me your iPod. That's all I ask. Give me your computer. If you're willing to pay the $250,000 and go to prison, then I'm for it. Tommy Dreamer? Dana White? Sure, Dana White has admitted on camera that he illegally downloaded his competitors. Sure, you want to go after them? It's easy to go after the peasants. Let's go after the king. Tommy Dreamer, go after your $990,000. As soon as you pay your $250,000 and go to prison. If you're not going to do that, fuck you, Tommy Dreamer. And this is coming from a fan that fucking, if I have access to it, I'll pay for it. That's my attitude towards illegal downloads. I understand that the pay-per-view numbers probably weren't what you wanted, but at the same time, probably those 666,000 people weren't going to pay. And you're going to fucking ruin someone's life because of that. Now, if they are uploading it, then yeah, okay, maybe come up with a penalty. But Dana White and people that fucking are delusional, they want to go after people that watched it. No. No, you're out of your fucking mind. And you got to be careful. There are so many laws because Tommy Dreamer wants his money. Dana White wants his money. There's so many fucking laws. But by the way, that Tommy Dreamer and Dana White both broke. Both broke. Both broke. There are so many laws that both those men broke that they want to enforce and ruin people's lives. Do you really want to solve copyright? Have a thing, if you watched it and you're like, oh, you got me, pay triple the amount of the value. That's it. Then I'm like, oh, I'm on board. Let's go after everybody. But when the penalty is prison time and hundreds of thousands of fucking dollars and you broke the fucking law and you're not going to go after yourself, fuck you, Tommy Dreamer. Fuck you. Fuck you. If one fan, now if you're going out there and you're doing, ooh, it's a fake terrorist group, ooh, I'm going to scare a couple kids straight, then hey, dude, I'll still buy your product. Alright, yeah, if I could scare a couple people straight. But if you legit ruin one person's life for watching, no, fuck you. Fuck you, you fucking piece of shit. You deserve to be in prison. And I love Tommy Dreamer. I love Dana White. But you're fucking full of shit. You are a fucking horrible person that's only fucking greedy and you feel bad because your pay-per-view didn't do that fucking much money. So if this is a scare tactic, hey, dudes, scare the kids, the boogeyman. But if you're legit going for a company and going after them, if you don't serve prison time, you fucking deserve death because you are ruining people's life for your fucking greed. I'm tired of fucking companies bitching about copyright when they blatantly fucking break it. And not only that, but yeah, go after them all. Have fair penalties. You know, if you come up and let's say my friend Bob downloaded it, and you come up and you bankrupt Bob, and you send Bob to prison, go fuck yourself. Seriously, just go fuck yourself. Especially considering you broke the law yourself. It's bullshit, Tommy Dreamer. I hope it's a scare tactic, because if you go after one guy, I will never pay a goddamn dime again, and hopefully he does. Now, if you go after him and say, hey, dude, no, pay $80. We caught you, pay $80, and then go about your business, that's a fair fucking law. But considering you broke copyright, Dana White broke copyright, and you want to fucking ruin people's lives, I'm not on board for that. I'm sorry. And not only that, but go deeper into copyright, and you'll see how unfair it is. Go deeper. Just see how unfair copyright is when it comes to YouTube. Dude, copyright, you might as well say you worship the rich. And Tommy Dreamer, you broke some fucking laws. Where's your statement on that? I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting. Pay for what you support, but at the same time, to fucking go after someone that watched it is just wrong. It's wrong. It is. If you want to go after the guys that uploaded it, okay, you have more of a leg to stand on. But if you're going after guys that just fucking watched it, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. American Alucard, do you want to say anything about illegal streaming events?
Would you say Tommy Dreamer pulled a Napster Metallica move?
Yeah, a little bit. It's just fucking ridiculous because I'm under, you know, and I don't want to get too deep into it, but please read copyright laws. Please read about the TPP. Please fucking read about this shit. But no, it's a guy that wasn't that successful, and he found out a bunch of people stole his shit for free, and he's fucking overreacting. But to fucking ruin someone's life. Meanwhile, you broke the law. And yeah, sure. Anytime you sue someone for copyright, we should have access to your computer. You should just have access to your computer. And that's it. I mean, it's one of those things, please pay and support the products you love. But let me tell you, if fucking American Alucard didn't want to review this, I wouldn't have paid. I wouldn't have even watched it, to be honest. I would have just read the results. So, yeah, if you can afford it and you have access to it, please pay for your content. But if you're breaking the fucking law and then saying, oh, we should fucking go after those guys and ruin their lives, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm a fucking hippie anarchist son of a bitch. That is fucking wrong. And even as a guy who creates content, I make a living off creating content. Obviously not this show, but I make a living creating content. And I see people steal my shit all the time. And I don't want to ruin their lives. If there was a penalty where you pay triple of what it's valued at, then yeah, then I have no problem with that. But if you stole my content and I'm like, oh, that's not cool, you stole my content, I'm going to call a lawyer. And they're like, let's send him to prison and ruin his life. I'm like, no, dude, no. I mean, I just can't fucking do it. I can't fucking, you know what I mean? And here's the crazy part. The penalty for someone watching it online is so much more severe than some asshole buying your DVD and burning it. It's just, what the fuck, man? Get your priorities straight. Please pay and support the companies, but at the same time, don't fucking ruin people's life because you fucking failed. And that's what you're doing, Tommy. You're breaking laws. You are breaking laws, then enforcing those laws because you failed. And it's wrong. It's fucking goddamn wrong. You either have to change the copyright laws where you're not ruining people's lives, or you sue copyright, sure, fine. Sue all those fans. You better be in prison with them, Tommy Dreamer. You better be paying your fucking fee. Because let me tell you, 10 mistakes, $250,000 a pop. Oh, that's a lot more expensive than the $990,000 you owe. Oh, I see. I see how this fucking game is played. And once again, who's getting rich? That's right, the rich. Yay, Tommy Dreamer. Yeah. All right. Just said my piece on it, Tommy. I love you. I'll pay for your product. You sue one fucking fan for watching. Now, uploading it, I don't know. I don't know about uploading it. That's kind of like, okay, you might have something. But downloading it, watching it, nope. Tommy, show me your fucking computer, asshole. You know, and not only that, but, yeah, fine. Go after him. Ruin fucking Bob's life. Ruin that fan's life. You best be getting the same fucking penalty times 10.
But if he went after fans, they'll pretty much kill his company because his company is built off fan loyalty from WWE. They see Tommy Dreamer as the rowdy, rebel type of guy or whatever. And if he goes into the suing market, it completely kills his reputation.
Yeah. Well, and here's a great thing about living in Japan. Japan people, they buy content. They buy content like crazy. And Japan came by like crazy amounts. Like just Japan, you could overcharge for any type of entertainment. They'll buy like AKB48 is a girl band, and they put different covers of the girl on the CDs, and they'll buy hundreds of the same CD because every CD you buy helps that girl. It's just a paying culture. And what I'm proud of Japan is they went after pirates. The music industry did. And I think it was like 6 months later, the music industry begged not to go after pirates. Because as soon as the news hit that Japan was going after pirates, everyone stopped buying CDs. Like, it took a huge chunk. And here's the crazy part about Japan. CDs, DVDs, rental shops, all going strong. All going strong. People fucking line up around the block to rent DVDs. They are not a pirate culture. But as soon as they went after pirates, they're like, yeah, no, we're done buying your CDs. And the music industry begged them. The record companies begged Japan lawmakers not to go after pirates. And it's funny, because if you don't worship the rich and do what's right, maybe Tommy Dreamer one day will be begging not to go after his fans. But yeah, you sue one fucking fan, I'll never fucking pay for anything on Tommy Dreamer again. So, that's my piece on it. I didn't expect to go that long, I apologize, but, you know, it just fucking bugs the living shit out of me. And this is someone that my family eats. My family is in a house. My family fucking survives off content I create. And still, no. I will not ruin another person's life. Will you, Tommy Dreamer? Alright, let's see. Boop, ba, ba, boop, ba, da. While I look up comments, tell the internet inventory how they can find you, good sir.
American Alucard on everything, social media, YouTube, Twitter. By the way, how much is 540 yen compared to American dollars?
It goes up and down, and I just paid my editor, and I guess yen really is in the shitter. I don't know. It goes converted. I just do this. This is what I do for idiot math, and it's not accurate. Idiot math is like where you just round and you don't pay attention to the actual up and down. I should pay attention to up and down because the yen and dollar rate depends on how much money I make. Like, there's sometimes I'm like living like a millionaire, and then there's sometimes I'm fucking be like, oh, I need more money, and my income never goes up and down. It's just the yen goes up and down. But idiot math, not paying attention to the yen like I should. I say 100 yen equals $1. Now that's not exactly 100% accurate, but that's idiot math.
I was just saying that because I'm looking at Stardom's, like, I guess it's their program to watch their content or whatever, and it's like 540 yen.
Yeah, so that's about $5.
That's not okay.
That's about $5, so that's not bad. Yeah, see? I don't know. And not of that, but like, I mean, why not just fucking lower your content so it's fucking competitive? You know, like, I get everything, like Stardom, $5. Everything from New Japan, $10. Everything from WWE, $10. $20, and I'm gonna fucking ruin people's lives. At Westy West 3 says it doesn't matter, Dave. People are going to illegally stream no matter what you do. Probably, but that's not necessarily true because like I actually studied this for fucking living at one time. It's not true because there is a price point. There's a price point where they won't illegally download something. Now, there are people that are like, fuck this, I'm going to be a pirate forever. And you're not going to save them. Especially the younger generation. There is a younger generation that says, hey, I'm going to pirate no matter what. But then there's a price point, like $9.99 for everything. And you're like, oh, maybe. Netflix knows that price point. You know, so I think if the price point is right, because when Apple came by and made illegal downloads legal. They found a way to, you know, make iMusic and all that bullshit. Downloading went down. And there's a lot of people that I know that are kind of wealthy, and their theory is if it's at the right price, and convenient, they'll pay for it. So, like, I know, like, more wealthier, older people that are like, oh, it's only $9.99? Oh, okay, here you go. So there's a price point that you will never convince people that pirate all the time to stop pirating. It's just, it's in their blood, they got it for free, maybe it's hard times. But there are people that, because think about it, people pay for Netflix, people pay for New Japan World, people pay for WWE Network. Now, there are people that steal it, but did you ever think back in the day, we're older, that when pirating was a big deal, that people would pay for Netflix? Netflix would be like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's so fucking stupid. But now, I don't, you know, especially when it comes to Americans, I don't know many people that don't have Netflix. And the thing is, it's a price break. It has to be like, oh, where it's easy. You know, like, here's an example. You know, WWE Network, you know, hey, the WWE product sucks right now, but you know why people stay with WWE Network? Because it's only
Cheap.
$9.99. It's like, fuck it. It's like paying $9.99 is easier than downloading. Paying for Netflix is easier than downloading, and that's the price point you have to get. Now, there will be people that stream. There'll be people that don't have access to it. You know, like, my whole thing is, if you don't have access to it, and House of Hardcore, you know, it had access to it worldwide. But if you don't have access to it, and you're going after, fuck you. Fuck you and your mighty fucking castle walls, you rich fucks. But if most people say, if they have, like, I work in an online internet community in Tokyo, and most people I work with are pretty wealthy, and they're like, if I have access to it and it's affordable, I'll pay for it. That's what you have to find a price point. And we even talked about the price opening up. $20. You know, let's put it this way. $5 for Stardom, $9.99 for everything New Japan does, $9.99 for everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There has to be a price point that is fair.
Reasonable.
Yeah,
Fair.
reasonable, and people are going to go for it. Me, I used to, before I moved to Japan, when I did radio, I bought every boxing pay-per-view, every wrestling pay-per-view, and there was a lot of shitty wrestling companies that had pay-per-view back in the day, and I bought every MMA event ever. Like, it got to the point where the cable companies, like, they would call me and be like, oh, we ordered it for you. You know, I'm old. But yeah, like, it got to the point where I just was spending easily $500 a month on cable. Easily $500 a month on cable. Just because I was in radio and reviewed this shit and all that. But it comes to a point where not everyone's as lucky as me. You know what I mean? And why should... I don't know. I just think there will be people that stream no matter what, especially the younger generation. But for the people that do spend money, and not only that, but here's the thing: the pirates that won't pay anything, if they won't pay anything and it's not pirated, they just won't watch your product. And you know, greedy people that fucking break copyright laws in their own pay-per-views will say good, but it's not like you're gonna get that $990,000. Yeah, okay. That's like fucking, you know, I'm an angel investor. That's like when someone comes up to me and be like, well, we're projected to make 12 million. Go fuck yourself. All right? That's just a make-believe number. We're projected. What the fuck does that even mean? He's just a make-believe number fucking to overcome his failings. And it's sad that this is what it comes down to. If this is what hardcore homecoming, whatever the fuck you call your company, has to do, I don't want to fucking even support it anymore. And who knows? Maybe it's just a scare tactic. We'll find out. All right. All right, so here we go. Malik Douglas asks, this will be the last question. Malik Douglas, I think you're the only question on YouTube. Yay! Dunk, 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 dunk. High five, high five. We'll dedicate the show to Malik Douglas. He says, do you think that the NWA can ever come back? Things like the territories, could that ever exist again? Also, I got to check House of Hardcore out, too. All right, yeah, check it out. The $21 price tag in that first half, it's a really hard sell to watch it legally. It's a really hard sell to watch it legally. Can the NWA come back? I think it can, but it won't. Look at Tommy Dreamer. I put him over for how fucking little ego he has and how he's not in the main event and doesn't win. And then he's going out to sue fans. It just won't work. If I was House of Hardcore, Ring of Honor, TNA, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, NWA, I would get together and make one big fucking company and go after them. But it just doesn't work. I mean, even on the local indie levels, I ran a company on the local indie levels, and dude, they wouldn't even fucking work together. You know what I mean? Because the thing is, no matter what, like, even on YouTube, let's just pick YouTube. Even on YouTube, most people are fucking egotistical assholes. They're like, oh, should I work with KocoSports? Oh, I don't know. How many subscribers do they have? And it's just, I don't know. Everyone thinks their product is the best thing in the world, and they don't want to sacrifice anything to fucking work with someone else. And that's why WWE will keep dominating, and that makes me sad. But yeah, I think the NWA could do great, but no. There's just too many fucking egos. You know,
I mean,
and it's...
They still have a NWA, but it's now on a smaller scale, right?
Yeah, and Javier almost says, I love to see the Young Bucks. Yeah, the Young Bucks were so over, and also EC3. I thought the Young Bucks and EC3 both hit home runs tonight. I really do. And now EC3 didn't have a match for the record, though. But yeah, I enjoyed it, and it was great to see the Young Bucks get over so much in an American audience. Because I've seen the Young Bucks wrestle before in America, but not, not at the indie level. So it was good to see that. All right. Please like, comment, subscribe. Don't worry, we won't come after you for being pirates. Yeah, because like even people steal our YouTube shows and re-upload it as YouTube, and like, oh, we're giving it away for free. You know, pirating stuff that given away for free is kind of shitty. But at the same time, like everyone's like, you should go after them. I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to fucking crash someone else's. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too much of a fucking hippie. You know what I mean? Maybe. All right, like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, and check out KocoSports.net. Also check out American a la carte. Today we had so much content, and we'll probably have a lot more content. American a la carte, thank you for being part of the team. Thank you for being part of the show. And, yeah, I'll talk to you soon. KocoSports.net! With that, I am over. Bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum.